Welcome back to the Confident BS podcast.
Hey, everyone, here we are.
This is February 19th, 2018.
2018.
Yeah, it's a Monday. Perfect day for drinking.
Perfect day for Edward 40 Hand.
We're playing Edward 40 Hand with a Peeb in hand and a special guest star.
We have a guest!
First guest ever.
It's so exciting.
Which is crazy. I never thought we would get to this point of wonderfulness.
What?
You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, podcast. My name is Mitch. I'm a friend of Jessica and a new friend of Emily.
Yep. Mitch is an engineering friend of mine because I don't know if I've stated this before, but I'm an engineering student. I've bitched about it.
I'm pretty sure anyone who's listened to the podcast has known. We talk about it like every time.
Hey!
Love you.
Well, that's how we know, and we have some fun things on the menu today to talk about. And yeah, you want to just get into it? Let's
do it.
What do we talk about? How did the week go? You wanted to talk about your week.
Gosh.
Tell me about your
week. I had like a really shitty week.
Really? I had the opposite. Remember when I was in that fucking shit ass mood last week?
Yeah, last podcast. I still haven't uploaded.
I'm on cloud 9, baby.
Oh, we switched. You passed
know.
it to me.
Sorry.
No, my week was fucking unbearable.
Why?
Like my regular week was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It all started at the weekend actually. So I went to my grandparents' house, and they live 6 hours away. So
it's a far drive.
Fucking annoying.
That's a good time.
It's So I drove to Madison and stayed with my best friend in Madison, and because that cuts like an hour and a half out of my drive, and then I get to see her. So super excited. And, like, things were just a little bit weird this time. Like, I really didn't know how to talk to her, and then it was a little bit weird, and I was like, oh, this is awkward. And then, she, like, informed me that literally all of my best friends from high school are all getting together this weekend, and I'm, like, was not invited.
Oh!
And I was like, oh, and she's like, yeah, like, oh, like, all of, like, she names, like, all of her friends. They're like, oh, they're all coming over, and we're, like, hanging out. And I'm like, cool. And then nothing. Conversation changed.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, cool. So that
didn't even invite you.
Yeah, no.
You should have been like, wait, is my
bit.
invite in the mail or something?
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit. It's because
a couple days ago.
we had this stupid falling out. Or me and another one of our mutual friends had this stupid falling out because she's like a racist boyfriend. And I was like, fuck this shit. So, yeah. So that started it. It kicked it off. And then my fucking family. So my family and I sit opposite on pretty much any type of, like, it used to be just politics, but now it's literally everything.
Not surprised.
Yeah, no, goddamn. So my grandma turns off her Wi-Fi because she has a limited amount of, like, data she can use for her Wi-Fi. Okay. And I don't have service, so I'm literally cut off from every person except for my family. So it's already bad. Then my mom and my grandma start to talk about all these people, like, reporting sexual assault and how, like, women need to just, like, be tougher and, like, not be, like, complaining all the time is what they were saying. Yeah, my grandma, sorry, my grandma doesn't listen to this. She won't, whatever. My grandma literally said the words.
Ripper Newman.
I blocked her from hearing it. So,
Same, I tried.
It's too much.
They'll hear it and be like, oh,
whatever. Well, okay, my grandma's not an awful person. She's just so ignorant, and sometimes it's cute, sometimes it's very bad. Like when she said, she literally was like, well, if a woman gets really drunk, then it's not rape if a guy decides that he's gonna have sex with her.
That's a little bit of that's an issue. That's definitely an issue.
I was like, Grandma, I think that's the definition of rape. I think it's a little backwards.
Okay, but the thing is, like, okay, I mean, I get drunk and like, when I get fucked up and I want to have sex, like, I don't see myself as, like, it's still consensual to me. Like, I still feel like I have control.
It's not saying, like, if you get drunk and you get raped, it's your fault because you were drunk.
No,
that's
absolutely not
how it works at all.
I think that's just kind of the olden days, like,
yeah, you could tell that
what
she,
a fucking trollop.
Oh my god,
for going out and drinking. And then
I know,
fucking dude.
God.
Bonus points for using trollop.
that's what I would assume that they would be saying in that kind of, like, setting. You know what I mean?
Oh my god,
exactly. No.
So yeah, that was
fun.
It was just like, then I had to, like, educate.
Same.
Sorry, or do my best. I'm so gross. That was Jess.
I'll fuck you up.
Try me one-hander.
I can fuck you up with a pizza in hand too.
Oh, okay, whatever. You're so fucking tough. Whatever. Now I'm just fueled because I keep thinking about my family and I'm just angry now.
You want me to get off this train and just say a little bit about my week?
Can I have a quick my week?
Oh, of course, Mitch. Why don't we give our good
not.
guest a thing?
I learned something. It'll take 30 seconds. I learned something really cool this week. It's called the mini dab. So I know you can't see it, but you take your thumb and your index finger and you dab. It's called the mini dab.
Emily and I and Sarah all do that, like when we're across the bar and like we can't get to each other. We go, I just walk away.
This is just
So pull that one out on your next night out.
Every person at Joe Cats ever will be pulling the mini dab.
The mini dab, the new sensation.
The new sensation of basic bitches. Fuck yeah, mini dab. I'm gonna give it so much shit, but I'm just gonna start doing it, and they'll be like, Jessica, what the fuck? I'm be like, oh my god, my life is just like everything that I've known is just like, what the fuck? So yeah, same. Okay, we got the mini dab going on. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 3-month relationship in 3 days.
How does that happen?
Great. We learned absolutely everything about each other. We kissed. It was magical. We went through the honeymoon phase. I learned about all his flaws and deepest, darkest secrets, and then said couldn't handle it, and then was just like, oh my god, it was so bad.
Ghosted.
Yeah, it's really bad because I knew that he couldn't handle my shit and I could not handle his shit. So, 3-month relationship in 3 days. It was pretty intense, and I've never experienced that before.
Now, is that a personal record for shortest amount of time but longest amount of feeling? That
yes, yeah, that is. That is literally a record. 100% would say that is. Like, I whipped out, like, I told him about every single one of the records that I own, and that's intense. Like, that's an intense amount of, like, I really need to know that person to be like, yeah, I'm gonna tell them this, or they're either gonna fucking fall asleep or be like, this bitch is fucking nuts, and just telling me about her records, because that's crazy as fuck. And it didn't scare him away, and I was like, okay, cool, and then...
Now, was it a Tinder fling?
It was. It actually was. It was.
Love at first swipe?
For a certain party, yes, I would have... This is so bad. I feel like such an asshole, but you know what? It's just, we're gonna get over it. I'm fucking 21. Like,
you're fine.
And he's young too. Like, it's fine. We're both gonna move on. I hope there's nothing that, I hope I don't get stalked, but it's
It'll
chill.
be fine.
It'll be fine.
I did 3 years.
I hope he also doesn't listen to this podcast, because I did tell him about it.
Oh,
he's gonna listen. That's the first thing he's gonna do.
Well, here's me publicly apologizing for Jess.
Here's also me publicly apologizing, me telling you this, and me ghosting you and not telling you why I ghosted you, because now you know why I ghosted you. Oh, God.
I feel like
is this like the worst? Like, is this the
I feel
worst
like an accomplice to like a very bad crime that just happened.
Is this like really shit? Was that shitty? Like,
well, there's only way to find out, and that's to publish it. So
okay, well,
here we go.
Sorry if you know who I'm talking about.
I'll have to actually text him and be like, "This is what's going on."
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Never again. I'm just done. It's over.
Sure?
Yep. Yeah.
I think he deserves to hear like a little bit from you.
He does deserve that.
See, that's 2 against 1.
Every guy deserves that.
Every guy does deserve that. He was way too nice for me to be an asshole.
At what point do they stop deserving it, though?
Just all you gotta say is "I'm done." Like 2 words.
I know.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay,
that's
so that's what you would be like. Okay, cool. I'm boom.
I mean, no, but like at the very least,
it's just like
versus like you like having a good conversation and then just gone.
Now I feel like I should ask you. Okay, so hypothetical, totally hypothetical. Say that an ex of mine asked to like talk face to face, and then I was like, Nah.
But they've had a long history of, like, shittiness. Like, he was not great to her. Like, very toxic. You left it at a good spot to end it.
Yeah, you totally have the right to say no.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would as well.
100%. Like, why would you drag it on? Like,
that's
it's just it's just gonna hurt both of you.
But
so,
then
like,
I feel like
point?
a piece of shit because he's like, but
no,
I just want to.
The guy that I was talking to was super fucking nice to me and, like, was super excited to get to know me. And he deserves way better than what I was going to do. So, you changed my mind. I won't ghost him like I usually do, but...
Oh my gosh.
Well, don't pity text him now. That's worse. You fucking pity text the poor guy.
What am I supposed to do? The instant you just said, wow, you shouldn't ghost him, that literally puts, like, oh, fuck, I feel horrible, I should say something.
Well, if you're doing you're doing it for the sole purpose of making yourself not feel bad, then you definitely shouldn't. That is worse than ghosting.
Fuck! Fuck! Okay, there's no win for winning here, then.
Well, I mean, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to genuinely ghost him? Or do you want to...
Well, I guess my feelings at the point... I guess right now I'm thinking about what I'm feeling and not what he is, and that's super selfish of me. And, like, now that I think about it, like, I'd rather feel awkward for the time we talk than him, like, being like, wow, she really fucking ripped my heart out with that one, so...
Right.
But, like, okay, the thing is, he was saying the things like, oh my god, you're perfect, you're not real. Like,
red flag.
I told you, I'm just like the you're not real, and I'm just like, we just like the same things. Like, this is like this is like a chance encounter. Like, I just don't know.
I would just be honest, because I've been in those. And that was like the date that was the
last
I found
guy
myself
I had.
on that date with that guy who I thought was 22 and he turned out to be 38. Yes, okay. And he was like, "Oh, I like you so much. Like, I just like have never met anyone like you." And I literally texted him and I was like, "I can't do this. Like, I'm just not in a place right now. You're a great person." Yeah. And like he threw the whole like, oh, I guess it wasn't meant to be, like, my life sucks so much, like, just, like, the most, like...
They send the most...
Desperate...
No.
Like, it's just, like, I don't want to hold your hand through this. They send
the last guy he would send me paragraphs and paragraphs of just, like, I don't know what went wrong, like, I don't get this. Just the absolute most. I can't. I get it.
I truly believe guys are way more emotional than girls.
Bitch, I think we're emotional in different senses. Ways we're emotional. Like, when we... I don't know. I can't explain it. I know we're, like, in...
There's differences.
There's a difference. I don't know.
I think when, like... In my opinion, when it has anything to do with a guy's ego, he's going to be more emotional than the woman.
That's true. I agree.
That's the only way I can explain this. Yeah. Like,
it's just like anything that makes you feel like you're less of a man or whatever you want to be.
Yeah, you don't want to be the beta male. You
right.
want to be the alpha.
But like, okay, literally, like, this is the last guy that I talked to. He would send me paragraphs on and all of these are saying, like, oh, like, why don't you like me? Why isn't this working out? I'm just
That's weird.
I was trying to inadvertently say, like, everything that you're really doing right now is the reason why I'm not continuing with this. This is fucking weird. I'm just like, no.
Oh my gosh.
But then we shit on the guy. But then this just creates the circle of guys can't be sensitive or tell their feelings because then it's like us who are just
I'll challenge that. There is a very big difference between a guy being able to be, like, emotionally sensitive and, like, have me talk about my feelings and be able to reciprocate and then also talk about his and sending weird messages like that about why you're so perfect when it's obvious that if you're on the same level and you're emotional, it's fine. If, like, one person, if, like, you're, like, pushing for another person to give you validation that they do not want to give, then it's, like, totally, it's just different. It's creepy. It's creepy to me.
I think that's part of the texting culture too. Yeah. Like if you were to call you and say that exact same stuff, obviously it would still be a little weird.
Yeah.
But it would make it seem more real.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I know, I 100% agree with
That's
that.
a good point.
Like, everything that I was getting from there was very, like, frantic and desperate. Like, that I could just feel the desperateness in the text messages.
The neediness.
Yeah. With like a phone call, it'd be like, hey, what's up? And I would tell him my feelings, and he'd tell me his, and I could kind of sense what was going on.
It'd be more genuine as well.
A lot more genuine, and then I wouldn't have been as fucking weirded out.
Yeah,
This is why I'm really hesitant to date, because that shit is just, oh no, man.
No, I mean dating is supposed to be confusing, but you know, every single person you meet and you date teaches you something new that you needed to know about life and about yourself.
I think I fucking learned enough.
Just wait. I'm gonna hold you to that then.
Okay. I'm done with this conversation. I'm probably gonna burn a couple bridges, but it's fine.
Whatever.
What's one more bridge?
What's one more bridge? We're like already in. I'm drinking on a Monday. Might as well.
Infinity plus one. Still infinity. So fucking true.
Oh, that's
so fucking
the most
true.
mathy engineering thing I've ever really heard.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I understand. So whatever.
Nerd jokes are my thing.
Yeah, that is so true.
I'll support them.
Exactly. Every time you tag Austin in a Facebook post, I'm like, that's the nerdiest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
I support it.
I'm like, you think guys are just sending pics of girls to each other? No, they're just fucking math jokes. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, oh, wow, that's great. But the same though. Okay, let's continue on with this one.
All right, music for the week, Jess. What have you been binging?
Dude, I was not prepared. Can you?
Do you want to go first with?
Do you want to go like what?
Oh, the only music. Oh, that might be in the pop culture section though.
Oh, okay. All right.
My go-to.
Yeah.
But I bit the bullet and bought Spotify this week.
Yes. Change
Wait,
your life.
Premium?
Change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
you can never go back.
You can watch Hulu.
So I think if we recap the next time I'm on the show, I'll have some.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
So
man.
I'll take your request right now.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Okay. So I think what I've been listening to has been, I don't know when this is from, but it's James Arthur's album Back from the Edge. It's actually that's the reason why I feel so good, because I was having that really shitty week, really shitty time with my job and relationship, whatever. My best friend Stephanie is just, hey, listen to Trainwreck by James Arthur. Like, there's a lot of good lyrics in there that you could relate to. And I was like, yeah, cool. And I listened to it and I was like, oh, fuck. This is depressing. But I was just like, yeah, I like understand. So I listened to that a lot. But then I like listened to the rest of the album and it's super good. Phoenix is just about like regenerating yourself. Super, super sexy. Like, you put it on, you're like, DTF. Like, that's what's up. And James Arthur is great. So I 100% do that, and then I've been having a throwback with some Led Zeppelin, man. Like,
hell yeah.
That is just, it's you can't really go wrong with like Led Zeppelin. That is just the golden. That's rock. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't know. I've just been in like a super rock mood as well, and then yeah, that's like basically all that I have at the moment. That's like what I've been just binge listening to. But that James Arthur album, highly recommend.
Dope. What I've been a little bit of a low, not a lot of new.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's hard to like be constantly be like, oh my god, I know all these new things because I'm amazing and I keep up on everything.
Right.
Fuck that. I sometimes forget to like just clean out my fridge. Wow, I don't clean out my fridge regularly. Why would I look up new music regularly?
that I followed your train of thought there.
Analogy of the year.
Right.
I tried.
Okay, Jess.
I tried so hard.
Sure.
Are you even? What is going on?
Okay, what's your music?
So I've been listening to her name is Zella Day. She has 2 songs.
Okay.
But I like them both. One is called Honey Pie, and it's just like, it's like very like softer, kind of a little bit more like acoustic,
I like it.
mellow type shit, which is really nice.
It looks like she covers Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
That's awesome.
That would be amazing.
That's super fucking cool.
So,
okay, hell yeah, Zella Day.
Total recommendation from her. And I guess I just like started listening because it was like super chill and it's kind of like music I can smoke to and have it be fine.
Yeah, baby.
It was just like very relaxing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really like it. I threw back. So I was driving my grandparents. I had 6 hours, and there's like spots where I don't have any service, so I like just threw on a CD. So I listened to
a CD.
Yeah, that's what I do. I have the weirdest like grouping of CDs that I listen to in my car.
Yeah, because they're all from when we were younger and before we had like phones. And
yeah, like I have like 7 Glee CDs.
Oh my god, I love it.
Sometimes just go through.
I love it. But yeah, I was listening to the Time of Our Lives album from Miley Cyrus.
Yeah,
that's what I threw it back to. 2009 Miley Cyrus. And I knew all the words to all of the songs.
Dude,
now was that Miley or Hannah Montana?
No, that was the Miley. It was a Miley album.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that album. And the Jonas Brothers are on one of the tracks. Oh my god, I love the Jonas Brothers. Wait, Fuck, Marry, Kill on the spot. Which Jonas Brothers?
Dude, there's literally no way that I wouldn't fucking kill Kevin. Dude, Kevin was the weakest link. So he's totally fucking dead.
How are you killing him? Slice his neck, bullet through the head? Is that too graphic?
I would, okay, because, no, this is what we have to do for, like, final kills in D&D. And I love thinking of, like, the really, like, the goriest ways. So
you guys are the nerdiest, weirdest people ever.
So as a rogue tiefling, I have, like rapiers. So they're like, I have 2 of them that I can just take and, like, go from the middle and then just up all the way and turn him into a zipper.
Okay, Jigsaw.
Wow.
And then you guys.
I'm terrified.
I'm just thinking of like how I would kill him if he was an orc, because that's how I feel about him.
Oh my god.
His orc ass. But then I would totally marry Nick and then fuck Joe. After everything. That's how it would be.
I'm not really sure how much of that we should publish. People are gonna think, I guess out of both of us, you're definitely the murderer of the 2.
I just play a lot of fantasy games. Like, come on. Okay. Weren't you the one who was like, I love GTA because I can run over pedestrians?
Okay.
Literally, fuck you.
Okay. Yeah, literally, but that's fuck GTA. You just described how you would kill Kevin Jonas
in a fictional game. Aren't we talking about fictional games? This is a fictional game.
Okay, I'm done. Okay, my answer, now that I'm very not sure and all I can think of is Kevin Jonas in a fucking pile of zipper mess on the floor. I'd also kill him. He just makes me uncomfortable.
No, of course.
I feel bad for him. I almost want to marry him just because I feel bad for him. But I would kill him in the most peaceful way because I don't want him to feel any type of pain. Shut up. I'm a pacifist.
Okay. I can list off 7 examples of why that's incorrect.
Let's not go there. And then who would I marry and who would I fuck out of Nick and Joe?
Oh yes. Nick Jonas has been on Broadway so many times that I'm just like, fuck yeah.
Nick,
I want that in my life.
25. Kevin, I would marry Nick.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at Joe for the rest of my life.
Same. I wouldn't want to look at Joe for the rest of my life either.
Like, he's not bad looking, but compared to Nick Jonas.
Yeah, it's so true, though.
You know, you're going to live your whole life wondering, like, damn, I wonder what would have happened.
Who's the one with the bald, the shaved head? Which one's that? He's got the buzz. And he's friends with Demi.
That's Nick.
That's Nick.
Yeah.
Got it. I don't know the other 2.
I was like, what the fuck?
I saw them on Carpool Karaoke. They were great.
Yeah, I love... Okay, Nick and Demi. I love Demi Lovato.
I love Demi Lovato.
I want to be her best friend so bad.
I listen to Skyscraper when I'm like super like, oh my god, the world hates me. Like,
I'm the climb. That's what I think. Throw back to the climb.
Same. Okay, very, very nice. Okay, what are we moving on to?
I think we funnest conversation ever.
Ooh, this is a big reason why I brought our guest star on.
Where's my phone?
I am passionate about the topic.
Because we are going to talk about gun control. Gun control.
I don't know if Jess and Emily will like me after this conversation or not.
No, we are so open-minded. Fuck, dude. Oh.
I'm gonna.
No,
I'm
the
live
reason.
chatting it.
Okay, the reason why we have this podcast is to, inform people like us, because I feel like there's a lot of people our age who think the exact same way and don't want to learn about anything. You know what I mean?
I totally agree.
You know what I mean? And not even have the conversation. They say they want the conversation, but if the conversation doesn't go their way, then fuck you. What's
exactly.
the point? You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense to me to have an educational type podcast without having actual education being educated.
Education being educated. Yes. College educated.
I'm on college educated.
Okay. We're gonna have to do some fancy cutting.
I'm halfway through this 40, so we'll see how this goes.
Okay, I'm starting a live video because not enough people check our podcast to give a shit about doing it. Hi everyone. The moment is here. This is you know who I am. Oh my god. It's me.
This shit out.
Here's Jess.
Bitch.
Here's Mitch.
Hello.
Your friend Mitch.
We are talking about gun control on the podcast today. So here is my Edward 40 hand. Jess is fucking farther than me. I'm gonna act like I'm not upset.
Like a goddamn champ.
Shut the fuck up. But here we're gonna start this conversation about gun control, and I'm gonna try to figure out how the fuck to handle everything.
I need to go get my computer charger.
Oh wow.
Are you goddamn kidding me? We literally fucking.
I know. I'm sorry. We'll edit this out.
Go, Jess.
Can't edit it. You can't edit out a fucking
live
stream from Instagram.
Okay, yeah. Tell me the 2 people are watching.
There's
live
3.
Okay.
3. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. So while Jess is taking her fucking time,
damn it.
I want to take the opportunity because this is a conversation that I'm so fucking interested about, and so if you guys have questions or comments or opinions, definitely message through them, and we'll kind of go through. But Mitch, do you want to kind of introduce yourself and talk about your perspective on it? Let's start it out.
Oh, we're just gonna start with what
Oh,
Mitch thinks?
wow.
Yeah, we're gonna start with what Mitch thinks. Come on, Mitch.
So, first and foremost, I don't think taking guns away will fix the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my reasoning for that is my uncle and my dad both said the same thing. What they were talking about is, take the analogy of locking your door at night. My dad always said, I'm not going to lock our door at night. If someone wants to break in, they will. He said, at the very least, we'll have a nice door then if they rob us. So I think the same thing's true with guns. And the analogy, works loosely. If you take away the guns, which is another conversation we can talk about, which I don't think is possible, but if you ban a law saying no guns, I think people will find another way to make massacres happen.
I agree.
Okay, wait, so you're agreeing completely?
No. But,
no.
Well, I don't think I think Mitch is right when he's saying we can't just take back all the guns. There's no fucking way, because everyone, talks about Australia and England and how all of them banned all these guns, and Australia had this buyback system where they would, buy back all their guns. But I can't remember, we have so many guns. I don't remember how many we have.
We have over 350 million guns with only 100 million civilians holding those guns.
Yeah, and so it's just I would agree with Mitch. It's just economically impossible. There's no way that would be able to happen. When Australia did it, I think there was only 300,000 some that were out there. So I don't think that's possible, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of there still being some out there. them out there.
So, if I thought that banning all guns would completely fix the issue, I would 100% be behind it. Believe me, I would do anything to prevent those shootings.
Right.
And I feel like that's where most people are. I feel like most people are like, well, we just want to stop people from dying, so that whatever has to happen should happen.
Yeah, so one quick point on that Australian buyback program, actually only 1/3 of the guns, so it was a buyback program, people could voluntarily give their guns to the government.
Yeah.
So it did, the numbers do correlate where they took the guns away, but still 2/3 of the people that initially owned guns have the guns.
Had them. Okay.
And another reason, or there's two reasons that I think the Second Amendment is right. The first being, look what happened in Germany when people started having stricter gun laws. Hitler rose. Now, people compare Trump to Hitler, right? I mean, it's a loose comparison, but there's people who have said it before.
Interesting.
Now, imagine if Trump truly was Hitler, wanted to militarize all of our government. Wouldn't you want the people down south to have their guns to stop these guys?
Yeah.
Or would you want...
Wait, do you really believe that would happen?
Government tyranny? Totally. It could totally happen.
Like something like mass genocide? Or are you talking about like...
And I'm saying, on the slim case it did happen, would you rather have no arms? Or would you rather have people, NRA people, knowing how to shoot a gun up against our military? Would you rather have us, flinging dildos and pillows around?
I mean, dildo would not be, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, like, the next thing that would happen would be, like,
and I don't believe that, but I'm saying the slim possibility. We elected Trump, who's a madman. What if we go one tier above Trump? What is that?
Dude. Like, I mean, I don't feel like we'd be one tier above Trump, because I feel like in politics is, like, there's waves. So we saw what Bush did, and everyone was like, oh, fuck Bush. So we went to the complete opposite with Obama. Now, I mean, we can debate about how Obama was and, like, his presidency, whatever. But then after Obama, we went complete opposite with Trump. But the difference with Trump was, like, he wasn't in politics. He's like the
outcast,
the outcast. Like, oh, like, I'm for the people, but I have millions of dollars because so I don't really know the people. But I just feel, I feel like the next step would be the polar opposite of Trump. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get...
In what scenario? Like, next presidential election?
Yeah, next presidential... I think we'll probably go back into somewhat of a more of a democratic stance, because, I mean, everyone who's, like, bitched about Trump is, like... And, like, we're all like, wow, now this guy sucks. We need to, like, change.
You know that means that people like you have to vote, right?
Hey, the primary's tomorrow. Get out and vote.
Primary
is tomorrow.
We're talking about it and we forgot to post it. And go vote.
Totally my bad. I'm so sorry.
Because if you want to change on any gun control, like, issues at all, like, no matter what you stand for, you need to vote about it. Like, you need to, like, make a choice. You need to vote. And I mean, like, whatever comes of it, but just at least vote.
Wow, that's a lot.
Do not vote. And also I know this is a lot coming from me, but, like, after those kids in Florida got shot, I can't think about that happening to my brother or sister, and this directly affects me, and this directly affects all of us.
But, like, could you name a policy, though, that you would change right now? Because everybody screams change, and of course something needs to change. But what people lack is they lack saying a policy. They just scream change. Well, that doesn't get us anywhere. That gets us back full circle. What does change mean?
Right. So what is it to you? What is it? What does it mean?
So I had, like, a 4-tier solution that is more than open for critique.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I would have zero media coverage of this guy. You can talk about the situation, talk about his height, weight, size, race, whatever, but don't say his name.
I absolutely agree with that.
Why?
100% agree, because that's what they want.
That's what
what he wants. That having his name and face out there is exactly what he wants. This is why psychos do that shit.
They want the publicity.
They want the publicity. Because they will go down in history as being like, I shot up this whatever, but a blah, 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 blah. And he might be talked about in fucking history books later. He wants that. Yep. So I 100% agree with that.
He could
Fuck
either,
that dude.
Yeah, he could either...
Literally.
He could either live his life being a nobody, depressed, no friends, or become a household name. We all know Nicholas Cruz now. And we all will the rest of our lives.
Exactly. I 100% agree with that. Like,
I don't know how I feel about it.
What's your, like, opposition? Why do you not feel that way?
I guess, for me, so I think about it twofold. I think about, one, the fact that, like, I don't know where to put the camera.
That's fine.
How about you just, like, set it, like, against
the can't!
And then
you can't see Mitch.
That's fine. It's fine. They can hear me.
Wow, I'm just so unfortunately not tech savvy. I guess, for me, so there's one... in the sense of, I think saying his name makes him human, and that allows people to see that this is not some person that none of us can relate to, maybe none of us have seen. By saying his name, people see that, like, this could have been anyone in a high school. You could take this high school, apply it to literally probably any other high school in America, and you would find a Nicholas in there. So I think that's part of it. But I also think that, and I don't know, because obviously I didn't lose anyone in the shooting, but I'm not sure, like, whether, like, how releasing his name allowed the families to maybe cope or get some type of closure. So that's, like, where...
Well, sure, I think it'd be all right for the family to know.
Right.
But I agree. I don't think, like, blasting it.
But I agree that I mean, that is, like, why a lot of people do the shitty things they do, is because they want to be famous, but being famous means, you know, killing other people.
I don't know. Okay, continue with your tiered plan.
All right.
Tier number 2, which I don't know. We'll see how you. I think there should be 1 to 2 people in the school that are caring. Mm-hmm. But wait, the students know that someone in their school has a gun. They have no idea who it is. Right. So because say the average police time at best, say they can get there in 5 minutes. Okay. If you got a guy with a gun, and I think having a gun in school is inherently a bad idea, but if you disguise the identity, I think it could work to where if somebody knows when they come to school and they're shooting up that there's a guy right there with a gun, somebody, and they don't know who, it keeps it like they got to be on their toes. They're not going to be as not relaxed, but for lack of a better word. Yeah, and I think it would be beneficial.
They do that thing where it's like a sign that's like there are X number of teachers within the school that have guns, but they don't release whose names there are or what rooms they're in. So then anyone walking in with a gun knows that there are guns around, and they're probably strategically placed, but don't actually know.
And I think that sign saying there are 1 or 2 teachers here and armed and ready to use it will be more effective than a no gun zone sign.
Yeah. I would agree, because, when you put the psychological thing out there of, hey, don't do this, again, it's reverse psychology 101 right there. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I'll totally bring a gun in. But, once you have the real, okay, you could probably fucking die, then that kind of hammers it home. A little part of me still super uncomfortable.
I agree.
About that. You know what I mean? There'd have to be something... There'd have to be, an extensive training for these teachers to have guns.
Definitely.
There'd have to be something that fully makes me sure that, nothing could go wrong. These students aren't going to steal this gun. They're not going to, act like the teachers,
Well, their gun laws are so loose right now, they could just buy one.
Exactly. Exactly. Fucking everyone can fucking do that. So it's just, I agree with that. So, I 100% agree with that. I don't know. I'm so oh.
Yeah, I'm on the fence
so
too.
Weird about
I think that it makes sense and I support it, but I'm like you. I think about my little brother who's he's not the top of his class, and he struggles with different different subjects and social awkwardness because he's part of our family and it's inherently what we are.
Yeah.
And I think about whether or not if he was even around that, what if he did get his hands on that? That could be very dangerous.
Sure.
Or can you just chill out for 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Continue.
I can't remember my train of thought because you distracted me.
No,
I am worried about the kids that might get their hands on the gun. But I mean that.
I would just rather have a good guy have a gun than a bad guy.
Right, that's where I'm at too. That's where I'm at too.
With that.
Okay.
Next tier.
Tier 3.
Tier 3 is a new elite tier occupation, like in schools, which would be hard for funding, but of a psychiatrist, of something that is more open to students and really easily accessible. And obviously they would need, like, I don't want to say a PhD, but something to that level, and they need to be paid well. And obviously that's very hard because high school budgets are tough, but I feel like even if one could bump throughout the district once a week at each of the schools, and the kids are like open to talk to them.
I mean,
they have to
just
be inviting.
Access to mental health.
Yeah.
I think that's just, I think in general that's something that is needed in general. But
I would agree.
Again, at the same time, education's not getting the funding it should be.
Of course not. It's stupid how much little amount of money they get.
That's what I'm fucking saying. That's the fucking last time I rant about it.
We spend money on literally everything except for educating the people who are going to run the country in the future.
Fucking same. And it's just like, it just boggles my mind. Again, everyone has the right to an education. I fucking don't give a fuck what anyone else says. You can fight me on it. I swear to God. So I think we should be putting our money into that, and I would gladly put my taxes into education because that's what I fucking think is going to help society. But we're just not doing that.
We're not doing it.
And we're not electing the officials to fucking do that.
No,
so
we're not.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about, the change. What do I want the change? I want someone who will vote for the laws that will help fund education and will put in programs that will help students not go straight into college in 1,000 fucking things of debt. That will help high schools get psychologists that are just well paid, like who are just know what the fuck they're talking about. Right. Who will fucking secure our high schools. This is the change that I'm talking about. I think we need to get that out. Like, we need to actually look into the root cause. And everyone says change. Well, okay, what do you want changed? I don't want there to be, like, I don't want my kids shot up in school. Okay, well, what can we do about, like, what are the small issues within there that we can get in? This is all engineering. This is all engineering. This is all problem solving. This is all fishbone diagrams and fucking.
Oh my god.
What we do for a living. But anyway, I would agree. So that was my fucking rant. Okay, continue. Do you have another tier?
My last pillar, my last tier is to ban the AR-15.
Yes.
But the caveat with that is, so I looked at how many active AR-15s there are right now. There's 5 to 10 million privately owned AR-15s. So banning them right now would still leave those 5 to 10 million still on the quote streets. And even with the buyback program, say a conservative, say 60% of them give them back. That's still 4 million AR-15s. But I feel like you'd keep it in like the private communities of like the guys who just want, the guys who are, gun guys, not psychopaths. So I think banning the AR-15 is not an awful idea, but I don't think people will. How do you
discern the good guys and the psychopaths? That's
right.
That's so fucking hard though. Like,
because someone can just snap.
Screening that is so difficult. You never know what could happen. Though.
Yeah.
But you can buy a gun online and get delivered through your door through the dark web. Like, I could have a gun to my house unregistered, the next week with the right amount of money. Mm-hmm. But I guess
I don't get. How is this not an issue in other countries? So yes, Australia still has all those guns. How is this not an issue anywhere else? How is this just the U.S.?
Because we're fucking up in other ways that's allowing people to slip through the cracks.
I think it's a chain reaction.
Yeah, it's agree. Not just it's a gun issue, but it's also mental health. It's also just making sure that people are being cared for. It's poverty and examining all of those levels. It's the entire mentality of a nation that does not feel protected or secure.
Nobody cares. Why does nobody care about anything?
Because the people who don't care are the ones getting paid big bucks not to care. The people who do care are the people who are not getting educated on how to do anything.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a 1-tier program.
Yeah. Well, your 1-tier program. Honest to God, my 1-tier program would be like, dude, fuck guns, get them.
But look at Chicago, the strictest gun laws in America, and they have 20 to 30 people dead a weekend, or at least shot a weekend. The greatest crime rates in America.
Yeah. I mean,
strictest gun laws. That's why I don't think it'll I mean, it can.
But like, what's the? Oh nope. I'm not gonna continue with that statement. I'm just like, what? No. Okay. Yeah. Continue. That just was bad.
Okay.
I'm not getting into it.
All right. Well, I read this really good article today, and I truly kind of like stand by it in like a little bit of like a sarcastic way.
Okay.
There needs to be a bill passed to make it easier for black people to get guns. Because then all of the white people are going to go crazy and ban the fuck out of everything. Because that's what happens
that's what I was
when
reading.
you provide access to
No,
black
seriously.
people. No, that's the real.
Like when I was reading that, like they're like, what if this was like Hispanic people that were doing this?
I disagree. Look at what happened to Omar in the nightclub. He was Muslim.
Was he?
And he shot up 40 people in the gay bar.
Okay, but like
nothing changed.
Oh, I guess that's super.
Don't call that bullshit on me.
No, I would say I would say it's on the other end though.
We're still building a wall, Mitch.
That wall will never get built. I'm not a pro wall guy. Don't fucking give me that. That's a stupid idea.
I know. It's fucking an idiot. It's just dumb.
Know, dude.
If anyone did any type of research, you would fucking know it's
who else has walls? Who's building a wall? Fucking
like,
no
what
one.
The hell? Are you serious?
No one else is doing this
like,
except us.
Oh yeah, it's just like the biggest eye roll ever.
How can you
even think that that's like an actual way to secure a country?
I don't know. I just
build a
feel like
big ass wall.
The thoughts and prayers thing just pisses me the fuck off too. But I'm not gonna get into
I have a defense with that too.
Yeah.
I obviously, clearly, it is not enough. But I don't think you should get mad at somebody for saying thoughts and prayers. I mean, yes, of course, it's not enough. Something needs to be done. We all agree with that. But for telling a religious person to not say thoughts and prayers, you're kind of stepping on his First Amendment right.
No, I'm not saying you can't say anything about thoughts and prayers, and thoughts and prayers are awesome. They're great. I'm glad you're giving like thanks to God to support the family and all that. I 100% agree, but that fucking doesn't do shit.
And I agree with
I'm going to relate it back to what you said earlier in the podcast when you told Jess not to text that guy out of pity. If you're giving someone thoughts and prayers because you think that's the right thing, like, you're just like, oh, like, here's how I should react, here's the formula, and here's the part that I plug in to chug in to make sure that people see that I'm a compassionate person. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not good enough. Like, if you're doing it out of religious purpose,
it's not good enough. I will,
like, that's fine. 100%. But I feel like some people say thoughts and prayers and think that gets them off the hook.
I don't, like, there's no way that I think, like, saying that is, like, stupid. That, of course, you're showing support, and that makes so much else. You cope with things, and you want to support someone that you just can't. But just, I don't know, we're not doing enough. That's literally not enough. I don't know.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Of course it's not enough. My defense is, I don't think it's right to yell at those people who say it. I think it's unfair. Because there are some very moral and very religious people who will truly believe if they send thoughts and prayers that it will help. And like I said, I don't think it's enough, but I don't think it's right to get mad at them for it.
I mean, I agree. On some levels, I agree with that. on some levels, yeah, I agree with that. You know what I mean? Because I just hope, like, hopefully people aren't just, like, believe that everyone should just have guns. I don't believe in guns. I've never really liked guns. I've always just wanted guns to be for hunting. Dying. Like, the only thing that I'm okay with guns is for hunting and for, like, just nothing automatic. Nothing semi-automatic, nothing automatic. Just, I don't know. I'm not even a fan of guns in the first place. And I'm okay with hunting rifles and pistols. I don't fuck with anything else. I don't get the point in anything else. Yeah. Besides military action, which I don't even like war. I'm also very peace and love. Like, why can't we figure this out? But
well, the only other
Kevin Jonas thing was fucking otherwise.
I'm just saying, it was pretty violent.
The only other debate I've heard of that is, okay, so they take away all guns, right? Mm-hmm. So they're taking away our Second Amendment right. Where else will they stop, right? What if they take away the First Amendment, the Third Amendment?
Okay, but
search and seizure, housing of other, like, you know what I mean? If the government, this is kind of like a baseline for them. If they can get away, swiping off that Second Amendment, where do they stop? They take the 5th, 6th, the 7th?
I guess, but when they, but like, again, I kind of agree with the people who say, when they fucking made those, right? When we thought we were gonna be fucking invaded by, like, Britain.
I mean, it's easier for people who feel free in this country to say, like, be offended by the Second Amendment. I'm just, like, for real. For people, true. For areas who are getting constantly targeted and, like, they walk around fearing that they or their family members are going to die all the time. They're probably true. Like, yeah, I would love for anything to change, because every single time my son walks out the door, I literally am panicking because there's a very good chance he may not walk back.
I just don't know a policy that would have stopped what would have happened last week.
And the thing is...
And that's my biggest problem.
Love.
Of course.
We should just create a new amendment saying you have to love
everybody.
ELE.
Oh my god.
Love everybody. And if you don't love everybody, you fucking die.
Then you use the guns.
Execute him.
Then you use the guns. Yeah, that's the only use for guns.
Oh my god. We're all going to hell.
Each other.
Every single one of us. Okay.
I don't know. I agree that anything that we could possibly... It's not something that we can stop easily or fast. It's just... And I think it's a slow process because it's just a lot of, like, teaching people about, again, like helping people with their mental illnesses and teaching people about guns and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I'm just like, we don't need guns.
We don't need as many.
We don't.
And here's the thing. There are people making it easier for people to access guns. Like, why aren't we just why aren't we just getting stricter on who we're providing guns to?
I think that'd be a start. I agree.
That's a great start.
I just don't get how it's just not... I know there's, like, such a long process. Like, do they not do, like, a...
There's full background checks.
I mean, there's full background
Not always.
Checks.
They didn't do a background check on this guy.
Yeah, he did. The bill that they were about to pass, that Trump actually put a halt to, which was stupid, Nicholas Cruz still would have passed it and been able to get a gun.
Would have been like...
Because he didn't have a felony, and he didn't have... Obviously, you can't own a gun with a felony either way, but there was certain stipulations that he still would have passed.
But how do you catch mental illnesses? Like, how would you do a mental illness screening?
Screen them.
But if you screen someone and they're like, oh, we know you're gonna screen them. Do you know how fucking easy it is to, like, be like, oh, I've never had depression before, or, oh, I've never had suicidal thoughts. Like, how do you accurately screen that even, though?
Well, I mean, in a sense,
like
Nick's case, though, like, if you were to screen him, you would probably look at his fucking history, realize he got expelled for assault, and be like, I don't know, we're not feeling too good about this.
His Instagram was fucked up.
Like so many people... There were so many people that were like, oh, we saw this coming. Yeah. And it's just like, in that case, like, had they done literally anything to just look at him from a perspective of, like, okay, how is he doing as a person? Like, it's not only, like, they should have denied him guns. It's like, someone should have just helped him not feel like shit.
Yeah, good.
Like, we dropped the ball in multiple places.
Yeah, the system failed. I mean, the cops were at his house, like, 30-plus times over the past, like, 6 years.
Dude, what the
The FBI of Miami, like, had him on his list because he left a comment on a YouTube channel saying, I'm going to shoot up a school.
Oh, I think I remember, like...
And the FBI, like, got it and, like, okay, we'll write his name down, take notes, and then, like, left it at that. I think the system failed.
But the only way the system won't fail is if we put money into it, and I just don't think that anything like the NRA will want something like that. You know what? Because if we start putting in things like this, the NRA, like, anytime, like, I feel like anytime a Democrat that's going to put something that's going to block anything with guns, the NRA is just going to go back and be like, this is fucking unconstitutional. Everyone should have the right to a gun. Like, they're so, like, deep in the pockets of these politicians that there's really, I don't see anything changing from any of them. You know what I mean?
Here's what happens if...
You know what I mean?
So say we create policies to better change, restrict, make it harder to access guns, take away guns, whatever. Say the NRA pulls all of the money that they're supporting, so they're giving billions of dollars and millions of dollars, some very large amount of money to the government. where do we make up from that deficit? Like, what do we do with that now large gap of funding that we no longer have? Like, where does that come from? Where, like, do taxes just go up? Because like, then people are going to be pissed off about taxes. They're going to be like, no, let's just keep this gun thing because I don't have enough money already to support the fucking taxes that are literally robbing me out of house and home, and I can't afford to make up the deficit. So what the fuck do we do now? Yeah. I mean, I don't have the answer, but I have the question. God damn it!
I just don't see a change, and like I think the change is like again electing officials that don't have their fucking.
Well, how do we get young people to fucking vote?
Dude, I don't know. I guess I was just like I'm passionate about it because now like. My brother or sister could fucking die, and that's.
But that's true. I mean, you could walk out of school and get hit in the head with a vending machine. You know, get eaten by a shark.
But that's so true. But like,
just walk out of school and get eaten by a shark.
Land shark.
Fucking Sharknado.
I don't think you can live in fear. Like
I know, but
I mean, what these things but we still haven't accomplished a policy that would have stopped it. That's my
whole
thing.
Exactly, but like
and stricter gun laws. Look at Chicago. I don't
know.
There's not if there's a clear solution, I will be for it. But until that day, there's just nothing. I mean, I think guns are too easy to get, so tighten them up. But I don't think that'll solve all the problems.
I agree. I don't think that'll solve the problems either. But I also think that I don't know. I think we have a lot of problems as a country. And I think
it's deeply rooted.
Yeah, the first step is being able to identify and talk about the fucked up shit. Like that's gonna be until we can do that, we're not gonna get anywhere.
I agree.
Because if people can't even fucking admit where we're at, how are we gonna even be able to see where we're going?
They just scream at each other and they won't listen to the other side.
Everyone's like, you aren't educated or you don't know this, and it's like, okay, well, fucking help me, so we can have a conversation and we can get better.
It's the like either it's all or nothing. Like you can't be the all or nothing person. You know what I mean? You have to compromise. My hand's warm.
My hands are freezing. This beer's 40 ounce.
I've always been on the side where I have my opinion, but if you present me new information, I will more than happily change my opinion if your information is accurate. I'll never be like that close-minded.
Right. And that's the thing is like you should. Like we're all allowed to have our opinions, but we're also all allowed to change our opinions as we grow and as we learn. Like that's the point of being fucking alive.
I mean, as technology like changes and evolves, we're gonna find so many more scientific discoveries and like so much more like shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just I don't know.
That's why I think that our generation, like the people our age, are literally gonna change. We're gonna have to change how things are because if we don't, literally no one is going to make it. Like we're all gonna like, fucking expire hella early because no one's gonna do anything until the point where it's too fucking late.
And I don't think I know a handful of them, but I don't think I've ever truly met someone face to face who has been like, fuck you, fuck your opinion, like I don't want to listen to talk to you. Like I feel like every time I talk with someone,
when Milo came, which was awful, he's an idiot. But think about if nobody would have done anything, he would have had, 15 people go to his show, and that would have been that.
Yeah.
And still, instead, we had all these protesters, which I agree. I don't agree with any of his opinions.
Yeah.
But that just made him a big deal. That's how he became famous. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you would have had, without that those people protesting, which they have every right to do, and they were right for protesting, but you would have had 10, 15 people from UWM who believe his rhetoric, and that would have been that. He would have came and left.
Right. I would agree with that. It's just...
I don't know, because then I think about, like, I'm from such a small town, like, rural Wisconsin, like, just full-on, like, just Trump-supporting blindness type
I think it's
shit.
Also not access to information.
It definitely is. Like, people, not only that, but, like, people only see their perspective. You can only understand your perspective if that's the only one you're getting. Yep. You know, and you can't be mad at people for only understanding everything they've known for their entire life. Like, that's everything that I am doing. I've just been exposed to more. So when I think about, like, what arguments are coming from people at home, and I'm just struggling because I've just very locked myself away from all of them. Yeah, exactly. But, like, I truly am interested because the mindsets are so different and the way of life is so different. And I'm sure, like, this conversation would be very, very different had, like, you know, it taken place in a city that wasn't Milwaukee.
That is super fucking true.
So it's like,
100%
I just still feel like I'm missing puzzle pieces because I still feel like there are so many things that I just don't know about how other people are thinking.
Yeah.
Like, how are you doing this?
The power of conversation, though.
It's literally the power of conversation.
The power of podcasting.
True. Next time I'm gonna go to my hometown and talk to all the Confederate flag flying
I
fuckers.
lived my neighbor two
Flag
houses
flying
down,
fuckers.
like, had a huge Confederate flag outside. And it was
I
just
just
like,
gotta figure
for
out.
me, it was
I
normal.
just gotta figure out that mindset. That shit doesn't make sense to me, but it's.
My grandma also tried to tell me why we should not be taking down Confederate flags. And I was like, Grandma, you have black grandchildren.
I'm not surprised if she's used the word blackie in her lifetime.
She literally, oh my god, I don't want to, like, she looked at me, she's like, she used terms like,
shit to you.
Yeah, she was like, oh, when we adopted you, I expected your skin to feel different because I've never touched one of you before.
God.
And I was like, I don't want to talk about that.
I've never touched one of you before.
That's literally, and I was like, okay,
Bitch,
Grandma. That's what I go through every time I go home. It's so emotionally exhausting that I literally have to take a whole day off of my life to just, like, regroup and, like, feel like I'm loved. Because my family makes me feel like such a fucking object all the time.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's so hard. Whatever.
Just for devil advocates purposes,
Go ahead.
which is probably the 0.001%.
No, I want,
the Confederate flag was flown when we bailed out the Jews in the concentration camps. That flew over as a sign of America.
Okay,
so if there's a 1.1% of people that are flying it for that, which is nobody, then it's okay. But everything else, tear the fucker down. Get rid of that.
Because my grandma's argument was like, this is part of our American history.
Stupid. That's stupid.
We can't erase it because we have to remember where we've come from as a country. And I was like, take that motherfucking down. You want to put it in a fucking book? Okay, put it in a book. You can write, fine.
Honestly, I could give fuck all of, like, seeing statues. I literally could give
Yeah, she was fighting for that, too.
Yeah,
she was like, these were people that were fighting in our country, and we should keep their statues up. And then I was like, well, what if we put a statue of Trump up? And she's like, no, fuck that. And I'm just like, Grandma, you cannot use one argument for one and not the other. Like, they're the same.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Oh my god. And then my mom is trying to, like, get me to stop yelling at my grandmother, and I'm just, like, very, like, I don't understand any of your beliefs, Grandma. And she's just like, I've never touched one of your kind before.
Oh my god.
I just, like, wanna die. Please just put me out of my misery. Take me back to a place where I'm understood. Yeah, that's
terrible. I'm so sorry.
Snapshot of my fucking life, you guys.
Yeah, no, I couldn't tell. I can't even talk about the stories because I don't even want the chance that my family hears this because I mean I like the lifestyle that I lead.
You know,
I can't be funded with the ways I'm doing things right now. So
you're an angel in front of the podcast.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
I have nothing to lose.
I am the star child of the family, first one graduating with an engineering degree. Like I have all the puzzle pieces together. Like I'm perfect to them and
nope. Next time my family sees me after I graduate, guess who's coming to my graduation? Nobody. My mom is not coming. My grandparents are not coming. No one's coming to my senior screenings for my film. Nobody's coming. Absolutely serious? No. My family does not give a fuck about me. Like
that's really rough.
Like that's not. I've been so like I literally have nothing to lose because my family could not give a shit if I just like stopped showing up.
Yeah.
They'd be like, whatever. Where'd that one loud girl go? Like nothing.
We don't have to feed her anymore. So
like
woo! Like more money in my pocket.
Right. Most of the comments I get are like, oh my god, can I touch your hair? And I'm like, stop, I'm a fucking family member. Like, just keep your hands off of me. Don't ask me any racist questions and leave me alone. Like, every single time. Like, it's just like, I just want to, like, lay down and just not ever have to go back.
But again, you're going to rule the fucking world, man. Women are going to rule the world.
Yeah, they are. Buckle your seatbelt,
Mitch.
Sorry,
Mitch.
I'm okay with
that. I think, honestly, if women ruled the world, it'd be...
But fuck Hillary Clinton for real.
I mean, she's one woman out of all of us. Like,
the Democrats could have got anybody in the world, and they picked the devil.
The Republicans could have gotten anyone in the world.
But they won, so you can't make that debate.
You picked Trump!
Don't say you guys, I'm a libertarian.
I'm very angry about everything.
Trump's a moron.
I'm just, out of everyone that we could have picked, the fact that we landed with Trump and Hillary, yes, is pretty upsetting to most people in America. I think we all can agree.
I would have picked Satan over Hillary.
Fine. I literally thought about running for president.
Wade's gonna hate this fucking podcast. I'm so sorry.
Wade knows how people.
Wade, I'm sorry.
People think about Hillary. You can love Hillary, and
I also hate Trump,
everyone.
so don't feel bad, Wade.
I want to see happiness in this country, and it hasn't
I agree.
come yet. I just don't have faith.
The thing is, I feel bad. I didn't see it in Hillary. I didn't see it in Trump. So again, that's why I was.
We need a black woman to rule this country.
I'm not. I mean, I love Oprah and she's great. But
I don't want Oprah.
Oprah to fucking rule the country. No. There's no fucking way. She doesn't know anything about politics. She just needs
to be Oprah.
I mean, they're like,
she's good at being Oprah.
Yes,
just be Oprah. That's enough.
Girl, like you gave me a car, bitch. You got a book club, but no, fuck that. I don't want her to be my president. Like, I mean, no, she doesn't know how. Like, I don't feel confident enough of her knowing like economics to like do shit. There's no fucking way. No.
Did you see she released an article that said how I become unstressed at age whatever, and someone quote tweeted it and said, "Step 1, have $1 billion."
Right. I mean, for real though.
So true though.
It's just like, don't try to give me advice when you're a fucking billionaire and you can literally buy other people's cars.
We don't have like we've always had like very affluent presidents. We've always had very rich people being the president. And it's just, they get brought in.
They don't represent the fucking country.
I agree with that one, baby. I agree with that one. Yep. 100%.
I don't know where we're going. Maybe I'll be president. I don't know.
That would be great.
Think after this individual podcast would prevent me from becoming president. I'm so certain.
I don't want grays by, like, 40. Fuck that, dude. I don't want gray hair.
Yeah.
I also could give a fuck about, like, everyone.
Those before and afters of the presidents are just great.
They're terrifying. Like, that is, like, you just got, like, the life sucked out of you.
Yeah,
like,
literally, yeah.
I could not do it. I just could not do it. Being president of UWM is hard enough. It's, like, already killing me.
But you
like,
know what,
I can't imagine.
You know what they should do? They should just have young kids and then just, like, kiss them on the mouth and then suck their youth out of them. Just
Stem cell research.
Tom Brady. Sucks the life out of
Goddamn
his
Ursula
children.
type shit. Just, like, sucking the life out of everyone.
Just sucking the life out of them. Like the Rothschilds used. I'm pretty sure they create humans to implant organs into them.
That head honcho Rothschild, he died at like 130 or something.
That's not real.
He had like every organ replaced in his body. He was like the head honcho.
Yes. They're so rich they can do that. I swear to God they're doing like the My Sister's Keeper shit.
Do you think the Kardashians can do that?
No, Rothschild's wealth I think is up here.
It's really? Like, I don't even know who this person is. Am I
like close to?
Help me.
I think they're either is it? I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong on this podcast, but I think they were oil.
Do you want me to step in?
Yes, please step in. Please. Because you in Germany, you were the one who like we were at that museum.
You went to Germany?
Of course.
Oh my God, you know too much about me then. Oh damn.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right.
Okay. Yeah.
Your opinion of me is probably changed.
No. It was in London, wasn't it? The museum where it was like that whole Rothschilds like area, which was like fucking weird. Like everything was gold, and I'm just like this. Shit. They have too much money.
There were like 13 original bankers.
Okay.
In the world, it was like J.P. Morgan, right? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the oil, and they like got together, had this big meeting, and they said, "Hey, we have a lot of money right now. Let's fund both sides of World War I and both sides of World War II." So they funded all these sides and all these countries, including the United States, owed them all this money back, and now they're like crazy rich because of both the wars. And the rumors are that they're like the shadow government, that like there's Trump. And then there's like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers.
Yeah.
And they're like dishing them money that are doing these.
They're bidding.
Yeah, and they have like billions of dollars in like their own private houses, and like they must have paid off like Forbes. They like took them off the Forbes list, and like they're just crazy people. Like you can look it up.
It's crazy insane. Like they're gonna be cyborgs. If I were to think there's gonna be fucking cyborgs, it's just like the Rothschild's brain in a fucking robot. Just like tearing shit down.
The world is headed to a scary ass place.
Dude, yeah, man. That's why I don't trust anything. That's why I literally don't trust anything and anyone. Any politician that has money in their pocket from someone.
I'm like, so different from you then. Because in my like life, that's why I fucking love everyone. Because I feel like that I never know when we're gonna have the last opportunity
broke the
to
seal, baby.
Somebody. Bitch, why do you always interrupt me when I'm having a
Yeah, that was a good. I was.
Yeah, I know. Jess fucking interrupts me all the time. I don't even want to talk to you. I've tried to talk so many times. You just interrupt what I'm saying.
I'm so sorry. Just get back on your train. Baby.
No, now it's gone. You've derailed me once again. I want to put a counter on this podcast of how many times Jess has interrupted me while I say
get a little bell.
God damn it. It's just a little counter in the corner. It'll happen. Oh my gosh, what time are we at? We've been talking for 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Wow. It's pretty good.
Yeah. We were going to talk about Fergie's national anthem. Oh. Yeah, bitch, shut the fuck up. What do you think, Mitch?
It was so bad. I love me some Fergie. I love Fergalicious. When she was in the Black Eyed Peas, she's great, but oh man.
Yeah. Honestly, okay, the first half I would have accepted.
Except like C.
Right. I would have been like, all right, it's Fergie. I get it. It's Fergie's take on it. The last half, I'm just like, ooh, Fergie. And I just like I felt myself holding my breath, hoping that she would just stop.
Dude, she's been on a lot of crystal meth for a very long time.
You just interrupted me again! Anyway, I'm just gonna stop talking. No more 40 hands.
I almost finished a 40. I wasn't listening to what you were saying, and I thought you were almost done with what you're talking about.
I also almost finished a 40. I wasn't almost done talking, and I respect you enough to not interrupt you when you talk, so I don't know why it's different.
Okay, I'll let you go on a tangent right now.
No, I'm done.
1, 2, 3, go.
I'm so done.
I gave you this time.
I'm done talking.
You fucked it up. Dude, you were... You can't deny that you felt like such a sexy 7-year-old when you were listening to Fergie's London Bridge. London, wanna go down like London. Is that what we're talking about?
Even the players were laughing at her national anthem. They're like
so bad. But again, she was doing that thing. I think she was doing that thing where she was just trying to be jazzy and edgy, like how
but she was
Jimmy,
like off beat and like note or whatever it is, your pitch.
Again, she was very I think she's been on drugs for a very long time. And
who hasn't?
What?
Who hasn't been on drugs for a very long time?
But again, she's been on crystal meth for a very long time, and that's not a drug that you fuck with. And then you're, like, kind of okay afterwards.
Fuck with it when you're Fergie.
Apparently not when you're Fergie, because then you get the national anthem. Dude, are you fucking kidding me?
You know what Demi Lovato sang when she was on cocaine?
Okay, cocaine is way different than crystal.
I'm just...
Different ball game, yeah.
Different ball game.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate
crystal
to
meth,
you.
Like, makes
because I'm mad you keep interrupting me.
And I'm
very
upset. Sorry. I apologize.
I've been emotionally hurt. I've been through a lot this week, and you just keep making it worse.
I'll make you feel so much better if you give me like 2 seconds. Okay.
I've heard that before.
That's so bad. I'm so sorry.
I hate you. I hate you so much right now. This is why we're not. We can't be friends forever.
No, I'm trying to make you so much happier right now. But I was like laughing because like Jimmy Kimmel tried so hard to be like okay with it, but then he's just,
Jimmy Kimmel broke.
Like, oh, dude, this is too fucking funny. It's way too fucking funny. Yeah. Do we have anything more with Fergie? Do you want to say something about Fergie? I'll shut my mouth.
I was just gonna say that overall, I didn't think it was that awful.
It was terrible.
I think the last like maybe 15 seconds. Was rough. But I think that we all I don't want to say it was that bad.
I'm gonna say it was pretty fucking bad.
Get some high school kids to outsing her.
No.
I mean, was it the best that Fergie could do? No. Was it what I would want to hear? No. Do I think that it could have been better done by anyone else in the world? Yes. But
how does? Okay, you just answered all of your questions.
I just don't want to say it's bad.
Why the fuck would you want to listen to? Why would you want to have someone do something that you want to listen to? Like, I'd go back and listen to Beyonce's halftime show.
So much for me. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
No, but like I'd go back and watch Prince's halftime show. Like all these things, I would go back and watch. I will never want to watch Fergie's game.
Unless you want to laugh.
Whatever. You know what? People are gonna be looking this shit up because it's fucking funny.
Yeah, she'll get a lot of free publicity.
Exactly. She just got a lot of free publicity.
She's a meme now.
Oh no, she embarrassed herself for what? In 2 minutes, and now look at everyone in the world's talking about Fergie.
I love Fergie.
I cannot drink 40s ever.
This guy, there's a video of this guy. I hate you. There's a video of this guy who, like, turned an organ, like an entire organ, into Furbies. And it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It is an engineering feat, I'd have to say. It's absolutely incredible. Sounds like just what you hear when you enter Satan's gates, but it's wonderful.
I hope when you're editing this, can you keep a counter of how many times you interrupted me? Because we're in the double digits.
I'll put it on there. Yeah, I'll do quick edits. Oh, you want me to edit this shit? You're in for a ride, man. Because I'm gonna get on. It's gonna be some shit. I'm gonna splice things out to be like Emily's for gun violence.
Do not slander me. I'm not gonna
You're giving me the edit rights.
Fuck you. Did we come to a consensus on how we feel about gun control?
Fergie?
Fuck you. No. What?
Fergie sucks.
I can't do that.
Definition make the boys go
loco.
They want my treasures, or they get their pleasures from my photos.
On the C to the E, G the
You're at the wrong part of the song.
Doesn't the guy come in like behind it?
Put it down. Yeah.
I thought he comes in like underneath and like.
You're probably right. I haven't listened to that song in fucking forever.
The best part of that song is when he's like.
I used to be able to rap that song. Like the whole. Look at my
I don't want to say it. I'm a little. Oh wait, I used to.
Yeah.
Like find out like it be like.
Because they say delicious.
So delicious.
I ain't promiscuous, and if you are suspicious, all that shit is fictitious. I broke kisses.
That boys are
right,
and they be
riding down the block just to watch what I got.
Fergalicious.
Uno, dos, tres,
cuatro.
All right.
Anyway, okay.
I'm
way too drunk for like
Valentine's
Day.
Right now. Okay, both of you have to tell me perfect Valentine's Day scenario. Like, if you could have the perfect Valentine's Day.
Plot twist. Celebrate Valentine's Day with your significant other on a day other than Valentine's Day.
Is that your perfect Valentine's Day?
That would be.
Oh.
So on Valentine's Day.
What day would you choose?
I don't know. The
Tuesday after.
Yeah.
Every other day of the year. That's what you should do.
Every day is Valentine's Day.
Every day is
if you're a good boyfriend.
I would agree with that. I don't know.
That's not realistic.
Cheesy. I know.
I'm still so unrealistic. Mushy. Like I'm still kind of mushy though. Cause you have love languages, so you can like be like wanting affection or like gifts or support or whatever the fucking love languages are. You know what I want for Valentine? My perfect Valentine's Day is he shows up and he has a fucking bear. And it's a cute bear, and it's a fluffy bear.
Like a real bear?
It's a bear on a unicycle. A teddy bear. He has a teddy bear.
Because Barney brought a bear to Robin and Barney's funeral.
That is true.
Okay, don't ever shush me. You have no... Don't touch me either.
Okay.
I'm so done.
So he brings a bear, and I'm like, thank you for the bear. And I hug it.
Like teddy bear or live like fucking cub?
I'm teddy bear. Okay. I'm hoping he brings a teddy bear. And then we make dinner together. It's great. We eat dinner together. We watch a movie, take a bath together, and we fuck all night long, baby! That is my perfect Valentine's Day.
Aww, I love it.
A lot of fucking. It's a lot of fucking.
I think that life should be a lot of fucking.
I agree, life should be a lot of fucking, but on Valentine's Day,
double the amount.
that pussy gonna hurt the next
my
day.
God.
That's exactly what I want.
Aww.
I know, romantic, right?
I don't know. I'm very like, I'm a walking cliche. I don't want any like material stuff. Honestly, every Valentine's Day, I would love to get just like a handwritten letter from my significant other talking about how much, like, why he appreciates and loves me. Just like reiterating, like, because my life is so busy that I don't really get a lot of time to like sit down and like talk and like, there's a lot of moments I feel like I miss. So like, if I could just like have in writing why somebody loved me every Valentine's Day, I don't give a shit about how the rest of the day is. I like literally don't care if I don't see you. Cute. I don't care if you buy me anything. I don't care if you make dinner because I like pizza too much and I'm probably not gonna like dinner.
But also like lots of fucking as well.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I think that lots of fucking is implied in any type of relationship that I'm in. So.
You know what? That's super true. I would agree with that. But Valentine's Day is just like
Valentine's Day. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'll read the letter and then
blue waffle.
Ew. Blue waffle's disgusting. The first time I saw that.
Y'all should look it up, guys.
Why did that came up in like middle school? That was like one of the first things I remember like looking up in middle school. Yeah. That was like on the
that's like a middle school bus thing too. Like, yeah, they're like the only time you ever saw it was on a bus in middle school. Like,
the one friend with the smartphone quick pulls it up.
Yeah,
right. Oh my god.
They're like, oh dude, look at this, and you're just like, what? And then you just see it, and you're like, oh god, what the fuck? Yep, that's so sad. That was my middle school.
You can never unsee this.
You can never. No,
God,
it's cool.
God, it
Have
was
you ever
weird.
seen it? But the thing is, I was so innocent. I was just like, oh, blue waffle, like cool. And they're like, at first I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. And they're like, oh, that's a vagina. I'm like, God, no! It's gone. I can never unsee that. I was like, I like the thing is, I'd never even seen my own vagina, and I saw someone else's vagina, blue waffly vagina.
Aww.
Anyway, were we doing the advice no one asked for, or are we wrapping this shit up?
No, we need to wrap it up. We talked about Valentine's Day. That's enough.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, thank you for listening. We are
Thank you for listening to Jess interrupt me multiple fucking times. That was great. I
just wasn't aware of the situation. That's how I'm.
Speaks a lot to who you are.
Yeah, because I'm really bad at paying attention.
I feel personally violated.
I'm so sorry. I'm very drunk right now as well.
We both drank 40s. We're finishing. But yeah, thank you, Mitch, for coming and being a guest star on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Honestly,
I had a blast.
Yeah, no, I had a blast too.
How did that happen?
If you didn't just know, Emily just
it literally went into my lungs, I swear to God. That's never happened to me before. It's like I went to swallow and the wrong pipe was like open and it just I'm so
oh my poor table.
I'm so sorry.
Say sorry to Mitch. He was in the full like fucking trajectory. Like
no, it's good. That's good. It got a good laugh out of it.
Anyway, no, but like great first guest. It was a great podcast.
I'm honored.
I like this one a lot. So I'm glad you graced us for our first one.
Yeah.
Because I know now we know how guests work and how great they can be. And how they just flow.
I hope I set the bar high.
You set the bar very
unbelievably high. You almost like wedged me right out of the podcast. So
no,
looks like confident bullshitters is getting. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm so happy you came, and
dude, fucking same.
This is a great conversation.
Great conversation.
Yeah.
Join in next week where we talk about
probably a variation of the same bullshit we talk about every time
and buying exotic animals.
Yeah, let's talk about like animal rights or something. I don't know. We never know how to end these motherfuckers.
I'm gonna buy a dolphin and just have it. Just to have
That's the next guest on the podcast.
It's gonna be a dolphin.
Okay. And with that, okay, bye.